What do you want to do now? Thea looked at the limitless sky stretching out beyond the cliff edge and said, "Keep going." Part 1. Chapter 1. She woke up on fire. Desperate to get some air onto her molten skin, she began kicking at the bed covers. Her nightie clung to her like a sick child. It fought back as she attempted to drag it off, entangling itself with her arms and sticking to her face. She panicked. Her heart thudded and her breath caught in her throat. For a split second, she wondered if this was what waterboarding felt like, but immediately discounted the thought as hysterical. Free at last, she threw her nightie on the floor. She reached for the glass of water on her bedside table and glugged down as much as she could manage, trying to put out the flames. The sensation of the cold water trickling down the insides of her stomach was unpleasant. Stripped and doused, she leant back, closed her eyes, and waited for the inferno to die down. It did so quickly, the heat radiating off her in waves. The slick of sweat that had coated her body only minutes earlier evaporated, leaving behind a deep chill and a tightness that felt like black pepper under her skin. She reached for the duvet and pulled it up around her. As the shaking subsided and her body slowly unclenched, something close to normal bodily function finally returned. Released from the grip of her night sweat, Denise regrouped and began her second battle of the night, hand-to-hand combat with her brain. Tonight the battalion of worries was fronted by a number of seemingly intractable work issues. But soon other concerns joined the assault, chief amongst them her sons. There was Aaron's stormy relationship with his girlfriend Millie. They seemed to do nothing but fight, make up, then start all over again, often over the course of a single day. There was Lewis's future. If his A-level results were as bad as she was expecting, God knew what he was going to do. He couldn't play golf for the rest of his life. Next, her mind pivoted to her youngest, Joe, and his persistent acne, and the impact it was having on his confidence. The weight of worry never seemed to get any lighter. Indeed, as her sons headed into adulthood, she found herself increasingly at a loss as to how to help, what to do or say to make it better. A hug and a kiss no longer cut it. Then there was Eric, her ageing father-in-law, who consumed so much of her time and offered so little in return, other than bad temper and military statistics. And down there, right at the bottom of the list that she should surely be near the top of, was her 83-year-old mother, Lillian, hundreds of miles away in the northeast, alone in her little cottage by the sea. How long was it since Denise had spoken to her mum properly, without having her eye on her emails or her attention directed elsewhere? How long since she'd been to see her? Months. Having exhausted her stock of family anxieties, Denise's brain fought wearily on, skirmishing with a myriad of smaller guilts and concerns. Before she knew it, she was worrying about the cracked drawer in the freezer and whether she'd texted the joiner with the right measurements for the shelves they were having fitted in the dining room. Enough! She knew worry was wasted energy. She scrunched up her toes and released them 10 times. She focused on each vertebra in her spine, imagining them aligned in a smooth curve. She tried to breathe from her diaphragm, resting her hand on her belly to check she was doing it correctly. She visualized being by the sea, imagined the soothing sound of the waves, the fresh air, the sense of peace she always felt when she was close to water. She rolled over onto her front and tried to channel her inner child. She rolled onto her side and counted her blessings. Nothing worked. She threw in the towel at 1:16 a.m. She simply couldn't face lying there any longer, staring into the darkness, listening to her husband Simon's sleep, peacefully unaware.